Okay, in the next 2 minutes, we'll introduce the last speaker for the day.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I believe we're all having fun. Please, let's give a big round of applause for all our speakers for the thought-provoking lectures. I'm really excited I'm part of this. I don't know about you. If you're excited, please put those hands together one more time for them. All right, in all of these, there's something that I know will keep me going, and that is belief in yourself. So if you believe in yourself, I'd like you to just put your hands on your chest and say, I believe in myself. Say it again, say, I believe in myself. Now, with a smile on your face, just turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, believe in yourself. All right, I'm here to introduce our next speaker. She is an exceptional personality. She's someone I admire a lot, and I know that a lot of us here admire her too. She is eloquent, jovial, bold, and beautiful. She is DMC's Embryology Laboratory Director and Head Brand Management Team. Our next speaker is a great teacher, and she will teach us how to write down our dreams and visions. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, please join me to welcome embryologist Adesua Evans Ogbebo. A big round of applause, please. Please, let's rise up on our feet as we welcome her.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Emmanuel. That was a brilliant introduction. I was beginning to ask myself if it was me, but that's okay. Are we having a good time? I'm not having a good time, oh, because they did not give me food. And I don't even understand. AHOC, Alpha. What does that even mean? Light. Do you know what my definition of light is? My definition of light in freshman means give me rice, small chops, biscuits, coffee, tea. Then I will choose according to my stomach. So light refreshment is relative. Okay. I hope the next one will be better. Okay, AHOC said it will be better.
Yes,
so
that's the vision.
That's the vision.
That's the vision, yes.
There's nothing God cannot do. So we have 45 minutes to talk about how to write down dreams, our dreams and visions. So the first two speakers are ecclesiastical. I'm sure for those of us that did not have our quiet time this morning, this looked more like the Lord is speaking to your inner man. So what I'm going to be doing is I want to translate that into how we can see from our mind's eye. Okay? So the first is to dream dreams. The second one is how to see visions. When you hear of dreams, I want everyone to please just let's perform a little exercise here. Our next exercise is going to be dreaming. We just want to use 2 minutes to see ourselves in the. I just want you to think of something that you've seen, that you see in your mind's eye, and it will make you smile. There's that one thing you think about. When you think about it, you smile. If you don't want to share what it is, it's fine. We'll just pass the microphone. But I want everyone to please close their eyes, take a deep breath in, out. Mr. Shegun, your eye is open though. You have to close it so that you transport. So now we're transporting into our minds, and I can see Obi already smiling. Something in my mind tells me I know what she's thinking about, but that's okay. Is anybody thinking of being as rich as Dangote here? On a private jet? In a nice yacht? Beautiful vacation? Los Cabos, the Maldives? Okay? You see all these things I'm saying? You see the way it's making you smile? Okay? Does anyone see themselves at the peak of their profession? Do you see your children graduating from school? If you're unmarried, do you see yourself on your wedding day if you're a female? If you're a male, are you thinking of the money you spend for the wedding? I'm sure that won't make you smile. That's all right. Okay, so just breathe out and open your eyes. There's something about dreams. There's something about dreams. And I don't know why in Nigeria we feel as if one of the reasons why we are the way, a lot of people are feeling very dejected nowadays is because we've stopped dreaming. And funny enough, you don't understand that that's the one thing that is very free in this world. You don't pay to dream. Is it your eye? It's not your mind. It's your mind. Anywhere you like, just take it to. Your dreams are free. So you should have them. And you should have them very often. Because a life with no dream is not a life at all. You've got to ask yourself, what are you dreaming? Because whether you like it or not, you're living your dreams. If you dream of something and you don't like it, if you dream of something, let's assume I want to own what now? Maybe, let's say I want to go on a vacation, okay? And I think about it, it makes me smile. That dream makes me start to work hard today. It makes me hate my present. So you begin to put things in motion, okay? Let's assume, now we have like a Japa, there's a Japa train in Nigeria. So some people, you see yourself in Canada. And when you think about it, you'll be telling yourself that, well, I don't think I'll be in this country in another 2 years, isn't it? But it is that dream that makes you want to do something about the situation. So when you see people constantly being stagnant and they are not moving, or they're not doing anything about their situation, it's because they've lost the art of dreaming. It's just as simple as that. Because your dreams give rise to your vision. But there is one vehicle that you carry along the way with dreams and visions, and that's hope. Do you know that? Hope. So when I look at myself and say, oh, Adeso, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, I tell myself, okay, first of all, I begin to see it in my mind's eye that this is going to happen. So any situation that I face at the moment, I keep telling myself, it's going to be over because I know where I'm going to. So my hope is solid. If anybody is talking to me, take for example, we have a girls' trip coming up, myself and a couple of friends. And when they call me, they will say, my Oga just annoyed me today. I didn't shout on him. As he was talking, he was even surprised I was very calm. He did not know that the reason why I was calm was because I saw myself on the boat, private yacht. So as he was talking, I was looking at him. I bet do talk finish, John. Then they will now send me a message. Adeswa, Alpha, what's the update? Where are we going to? I said, okay, we've done accommodation, we've done this, we've done that. They'll say, hey, correct, because my God be versed me for work today. I'm not versed, because as I think of myself under the sea, I tell myself, say, calm down, not versed. That's what happens. That's what your dreams do for you. That's what your hopes do for you. That's what your aspirations do for you. That's what your vision does for you. So why do you let them go? Why don't you think about them? When I wake up in the morning, after prayer, I spend the first 30 minutes daydreaming. Inside the dream is where the Holy Spirit will tell me, okay, you don't kill your giants lying down on the bed. You better get up. And then I just get up. But as I go through my day, I still think of my dreams and I smile. So what are you thinking of? What are your dreams? You know, there's a songwriter that talks about shattered dreams. When you listen to that song, you realize that a life with no dream is no life at all. If you have a child, I know it's good for you to want the best for your child. But you know, sometimes as a parent, you also forget that you need to be at your best in order for you to be the best parent. Have you ever seen a frustrated mother before? She'll be shouting. I remember when we were young then, my mom used to scream a lot at us, so much. She would scream, she would snap, she would, you know. So I remember when we entered secondary school, we asked her that day she was just eating. And we just asked her a simple question. Mommy, why were you always shouting when we were small? Why were you so mean though? You were always beating us. And for the first time, the question shocked her, and then she looked at us and said, I really am very sorry. I was frustrated. I didn't know how to manage myself, you know. I was in a polygamous marriage. I'm trying to make you guys the best that I can. I'm sure in between it, I don't know what happened. Immediately she said that, we looked at her, we said, we forgive you. But you didn't have to be so mean. It was at that point, as a teenager, I realized that as a parent, it's very important for you to get yourself so that you don't take out your frustrations on your children. So that very dream you have for your children, you start truncating it because you're creating that boundaries, you understand? Have you ever seen a mom that is constantly screaming? After some time, the children will be, when they talk, they'll say, you know, my mother will shout, so just leave her. She's going to shout. You know, don't do that. So take care of yourself. I implore you, if you're a parent, take care of yourself so that you can stand well. Be happy in your mind. Be happy in your spirit. Dream dreams. Have hopes. Okay? Those hopes are not defined by your current situation because it will always change. Nothing is static. So the fact that things are not going all right today, it doesn't mean that tomorrow your story will not be different. Okay? So what is more powerful? A written goal or that which remains unwritten? A written goal. Now, goals are, you know, you have dreams, you have visions. You break down your visions into goals. So it's like we're working backwards. Do you understand that? Okay, I have a dream. My dream is I want to build a refinery. Okay? What's my vision? My vision is my refinery should be able to process 2 million barrels of oil, of crude oil, maybe in a month, right? And then what are my goals? My goals are, I begin to break down, what does it take to produce 2 million barrels? Do I have a refinery? If I don't have a refinery, how do I go around it? How much do I need? These are goals, okay? So today, we're going to talk about goals more because those are the steps you take to achieve your dreams and your vision. So, which is more powerful? A written goal or that which remains unwritten? I need a microphone, please. 3 microphones, please. 3. Which is more powerful? In this class, there is no right or wrong answer, as usual.
To me, written goals is more powerful.
Why?
Because when you write them down, you'll be able to follow them step by step and
Okay.
see how far you have gone and what next to do, where you need to improve yourself
To be able to
to be
achieve
able
that.
to achieve your dreams.
Thank you. Please, a round of applause for her. Do we have anybody else? Yes. Please give him a microphone.
Most definitely, written goals are more
Why is it definite?
better, because even in your to-do list, you will have maybe a template of the things you want to do, and if you don't put them down, even as simple as that important one, you will just forget it, and your day will be ruined because of that. Maybe it's money you want to go and pick somewhere, because you didn't put it down, you will forget it.
Okay. So, do people have unwritten goals?
Yes. Maurice, I think I would need to defer to your help here, please. Has it ever occurred to anyone why we find it very difficult to write? Has it ever occurred to you why writing is so hard? It's off, actually. Does anyone feel like writing is hard? Does anyone feel that way? If you do, just say hello or just say yes. Do you feel like writing is hard? You feel it's hard? Do you feel it's hard? You don't feel it's hard, so you write all the time. But you write what's important to you. Writing is hard for you, okay? Is writing hard for anyone else? It's hard, right? One of the reasons why writing is hard for a lot of people is because you need to concentrate. But the more you have the ability to put your thoughts together in writing, the more clarity you get. That's why when we say write a report, has it ever occurred to you that if I tell you write a report on Friday, why do you wait to start Thursday 3 a.m.? Because you keep telling yourself, I'll write the report. Don't worry, it's just a report, I'll write it. Then you look at the time, you say, hey, 12 midnight, this report must be submitted 9 a.m. tomorrow. Ngwa, let me settle down now. Then you settle down, and then you start writing. And when you start writing report, you realize that you needed a little bit more time. If I had more time, I would have explained my thoughts more. Is it not? That's how it is. But writing is a skill that you need to learn if you must go far in life. You know, there are little things we pick along the line that differentiates you from other people and successful people from people that struggle. Most successful people write. That's why you see after some time, they are able to release their biography, their journals. They keep records. They write. And if you want to be in that league, you have to learn to do things that are proven. So today, I challenge everybody to learn the act of writing. Writing makes you stick to your day-to-day activities. Writing makes you think more. If you see me when I write, when I'm writing, I'll be telling myself, oh boy, novelists go nice for you. You be get skill, not be say you not get, but you not just patience. But if you ask me to talk, morning to night, I'll be flowing. Come and tell me to write. I'll tell you, give me time, please. Can I get a bottle of water? Can I get this? This chair is not comfortable. I always have issues when it comes to writing. But I have to write. You have to. If you want to be successful, writing is a skill that you have to get. So one of the reasons why a written goal is better is because studies show that when you set out a goal and you write it, you are more likely to achieve it. You know, at the beginning of the year, we have New Year resolutions. Then we have prayer points. Not even New Year resolutions, we have prayer points. Do you understand? And when the pastor says write it down, that is one time I realized that nobody is ever tired. They write. God, I need a car. I need a house. I need a... They just have you seen people's prayer points on January 1st? 4 pages, 5 pages on the spot. And then all through the year, they will not misplace the paper. But if you ask them where's their Bible study notebook, they will say, I left it under the chair. I don't even know where it is. But you see that one for prayer points, it can never be missing, because every time, if they are going for all night, they will hold it. Father, all that is written here is what you would do for me. It's very simple, isn't it? If I ask you, someone, where's your own now? You know where it is. Me, I know where my own is. So people who write down their goals are most likely to have success in achieving what they want compared to those who do not. Plus, there's this brain, sorry, that's a typo. There's a brain-hand connection. So when you're writing, you are connecting your brain to your hand. That's why in school, when a teacher is teaching and she's dictating notes, you don't understand the topic as much as when you listen to the teacher, process it, and write your notes yourself. When you write your notes yourself from what has been taught, you don't need to teach that topic again, because it is what you understood that you wrote. If I wake you up at night, you tell me what it is. And that's why when the teaching strategy in Nigeria changed, we started to read to pass exams instead of reading to know. Because ideally, you shouldn't give me what I gave you. Tell me what you understood from what I taught. And that's why they tell you that the best way to know if you understand something, teach it. So if I'm teaching you, if you want to know if you understand it, write it down. So as I'm talking, you'll be understanding what I'm saying, then you'll be writing it down. Then when I said maybe explain it to me, you explain to me from the way you understand it, but because you've written it down. So you see there's a brain-hand connection when it comes to writing. Next slide, please. Now, you know the reason why I like this girl? Who can tell me? What's she doing? She's thinking. But there's something about the expression on her face. She's smiling. She's excited about whatever she's thinking about. So why is writing your dreams and visions important? If you want us to try this experiment now, we'll try it. I'll just tell everybody, write down your dreams. You're going to see that everybody will be smiling. Because automatically your mind transports you to where you really, really want to be. And for a split second, there is no election, there is no fuel. That is the freest place you want to be, where your dreams and visions are. And so there's no how you're going to write it and you won't smile. So let's go next. Why is writing it so important? Next slide, please. Clarification. 1, it helps you clarify what you want to achieve. Get clear on what you want. Get clear on what you want. So when you're writing your dream, writing it down helps you to understand the big picture. So you write it down. You break down visions and dreams into smaller goals to help achievement. If you're not clear on what you want, how do you know where you're going? Like, I have a dream to, I really want to see what space looks like, to be honest. I really want to see what space looks like. So, I wish I found it right from when I was young. I probably would have been an astronaut. I really want to see what space looks like. I want to see the Earth from another planet. I watch it in films and everybody goes like, wow, it's so beautiful. But I would love to see it myself. So when Virgin Galactic said that they were going to start taking people to space, I started researching how I was going to participate. Do they have weight limits? Because I know anything that has to do with space, there's weight limits. Like this, my size now is to occupy like 3 people. They fit tell me, say, I not go get space. So I wanted to start writing now. Justice for fat people. Justice for fat people. We too want to go to space. So, but that's some other time. So you get clarity on it. Then, in getting clarification, what you also do is you filter what is important and what is not. So sometimes when your dreams come, it's so bogus. You look at it, have you ever had a dream that scared you? So when you dream of it and it scares you, you ask yourself, what can I do for the now? Isn't it? So you get clarity on it. Next, you engage. Just like that young girl just now was engaging her dreams. You can see her emotions. It ensures you are emotionally and intellectually engaged. It shows it matters to you. A lot of people have dreams that don't matter to them. They just say it because it's like when you see people, they'll say, Otedola does not have 2 heads. It's a lie. They don't want to be rich. They're just saying it because they hear people say it. That's the truth. Because if you really, really want to be rich like Otedola, you won't be coming here and be singing, Otedola does not have 2 heads. You'll be in the doing. Do you understand that? So, sometimes you can have dreams imposed on you because, by association. Everybody's doing this, so I want to do it. You have that a lot with kids. What do you want to be? I want to be a doctor. But actually, what the child is very good at is coding. But he's screaming, I want to be a doctor because Jennifer, Owofo Tolufa, and who was that, my classmate again? Elizabeth Aragon, they are all saying they want to be doctors. So me too, I want to be a doctor. So we have dreams like that are imposed on us by association, isn't it? So when you're writing it down, you actually ask yourself that question. If I say I want to be a doctor, and I'm trying to engage my dream, and it's not eliciting any form of emotions inside of me, I know that that's not a dream. Because if it's my dream, if I write halfway, I go say, God, man, when I go show with this thing, you'll be seeing it in your mind's eye. So you can't be saying, oh, I'm engaging my dream, I'm engaging my vision. Then you're writing it, you're sounding very wonkacious. How? Is it not your dream? You're supposed to engage it emotionally. When you think about it, it should elicit a response. Because if it's not eliciting a response, then you're not going to accomplish it. Don't let anybody deceive you. Don't let anybody deceive you. So you need to be engaged with that dream. Next slide, please. Motivation and momentum. That's the next thing that comes from writing. So you start asking yourself, how am I going to do this? How do I do that? You ask questions. You read books. You start reading on people that have told the same line because you want to find out how the others before you have done it. Do you understand that? So this when you're writing your dreams, these are the things that it's speaking to you, isn't it? So you're writing your goals down. This is how I want to do it. So you engage motivation, you engage momentum. Let me give you an example. I like gym. I like to go to the gym. I like to run. I like to always, every year, I make it a point of duty to learn a new sport. So this year, I told myself I was going to do boxing because my father was a boxer. And everybody in my family can box, only me. So I told myself this year, I'm going to learn how to do boxing. After like 3 months, my trainer looked at me and said, Shebi, you say you want to learn boxing? I said, yes, I want. I said, looking at me now, this is Muhammad Ali coming. Don't try me. He said, okay, where are your gloves? I said, I'm coming, sir. I'll buy. When next I travel, he told me, say, you're not ready. But, when I traveled and I had time to think about it, I told myself, it's already almost the middle of the year. You haven't even learned a new sport. Why? So immediately I ordered my boxing glove. I did this, I did that. All the kits for boxing, I just ordered it. When I arrived the gym that day, my trainer looked at me and said, "Why is your bag heavy?" I started bringing out my gadgets. I said, "Here's my box, here's my box gloves, here's my knitting." He looked at me and said, "You are ready. Now, wear them." After the first boxing day, oh boy, when I saw my side, nobody told me. Next one. But I'm on the journey. Because I must be a boxer at the end of the year. Yes, I have to be a boxer. It's important to me. So, next is you visualize yourself. So I visualized myself boxing in a ring. Okay? It sounds really funny, isn't it? But it's what it is. And anytime I wear my boxing gloves, I don't feel like Adesua. I feel like Muhammad Ali. So when my trainer tells me punch, I don't punch girl punch. I punch. He will say, I'll say, you asked me to punch. Why? Because in my mind, I'm a Mike Tyson. Don't try me. So I'm already operating on that level. So that's how your dreams are to you. So you start seeing yourself doing things. Have you ever done something before that everybody's looking at you? It's like you're walking, but actually you're walking on air. It's like you are gliding because you feel like you've just accomplished something. Oh, you're not seeing what I'm seeing. If you are seeing what my eye is seeing, you will know why my dance step has changed. So that's what happens. The next is time investment. If it's important to you, you have to invest your time in it. You have to invest your time in the sense that time, people say time is money, but I say time is better than money. Because if you lose money, you can get it back, isn't it? But if you lose time, you're never going to be 16 again. Don't let anybody deceive you. You're never going to be 20 again. And if you know what you know now, if you knew what you know now, or if you know what you knew now 15 years ago, you would have done things differently, right? So time is better than money. Of course. So what it does for you is how to invest your time. Because as you get older, you realize that you've invested your time in so many things that did not bring you profits. And you don't want to do it again. So when you're articulating your dreams, because when you are young, you have computer brain. So it's easy for you to pick stuff, isn't it? But even young people that write do better than young people that do not write. So imagine if you had applied good writing skills when you were young to achieve your goal. You probably would have known that I'm not meeting my target. But if you don't write it down, how do you measure it? How do you know what reminds you that you're not meeting your target? Nothing. So you just go through life like that. What's going to be is going to be. What goes up must come down. And the next thing you say is that life is not fair. How do you set measurable goals? I have a cousin every year. She has what she calls a vision board. I don't know, she's been doing it right from when we were in secondary school. If you go to her house, she's one person I learned post-it notes from. She just has one wall in her house dedicated to her. She will go there and write, "You're going to be a senior manager by the age of 24. She will post it. This. But do you know that, as we started going through life, I realized that some of the things I saw on my cousin's vision board, even as teenagers, she had done them. She ticks them pretty early. At 30, she's 38 now, I think, yes. She's the MD of a government parastatal. And that she always used to, for me, I felt like she was an achiever. But she was always setting her mind to things that she goes for what you don't want. That thing you don't like to do, just check her vision board. Every year, she will just put it there. She'll stick on it. When you read her vision board, if you are someone that is not used to dreaming big, you will look at her like, this is never going to happen. just wait. By the end of the year, she will just start removing it as it's happening. You probably will see maybe 1 or 2 left undone. I remember the first time I saw on Facebook, it was written there, she's now the MD of one, it's a government agent, Edo State government agency, she's the MD. I looked at her, I said, At 38, I saw everybody in her class, directors, PAMSEC, you know, they were way much older than her, but she was the one managing that public academy. And I looked at her like, wow, and you always said it. My cousin is the most restless person I know. She's always in a place to solve she solves problem. If you say this organization now, we are not making money, employ her. She will teach you how to make money for 3 years and then disappear. She doesn't stay. So if you look at her record, so when Edo State government had a problem, they looked for her. They took her from Jobaman and brought her in. So when I see her now, she's doing certain things. I'm looking at her, but I always remember her vision board. Always. And I can remember those things very clearly because it used to fascinate me as a child. We were all teenagers. She would have yellow post-it. Sometimes she would draw, she would say luxury vacation. Then she would draw boats, draw something. Sometimes she would cut pictures of maybe Maldives or something and put herself in the middle and put it on the board. But every time, you know, when I look through her life, I realized that most of the things she always wrote down, it happened to her. So what you desire, if you don't dream about it, it can't even happen to you. So you would only sit down and be escorting people through life because you don't have the power to dream. Whose fault is that? It's your fault. Because once you start dreaming it, then you begin to put plans in motion to make sure it comes. In fact, if you start dreaming it, when the plans are aligning, you would understand it. It will be, you know, there are certain things that will say, God aligns everything to come to you. But what if you don't dream it, you won't recognize it. That's why they will say, maybe, who now? A pot in the hand of Adeswa is a pot. But a pot in the hand of Hilda is Guinness World Record breaking. That's what it is, isn't it? I can't imagine myself cooking for 90 hours. What the hell? Who is eating that food? You eat me, fainted. Are you joking? But look at her, she's done it. How do you set measurable goals? First of all, what are measurable goals? These are an object of an ambition that have a number or an event or a timeline attached to achieving that aim. Simply put, something that we can say, this is it, this is when I will do it, this is how I will do it, and this is when I will finish it. It's measurable. Okay? It is exact and specific, okay, in what it wants to identify. And because of its specificity, the exact time of the achievement is known and possibly celebrated. The IVF unit has a target for 90% success rate. The day we achieve it, we know we have achieved it. Then everybody will shout, hey! We have a goal that if we ever get above 60-something%, we have a reward. So at the end of every month, when we are calculating the percentage success rate, everybody gathers. Alpha, no, that patient not do transfer. Nami, I drove her from theater. She did not do it that day. Don't remove her from this list, I beg. Let her not come and reduce our success rate. Then when the success rate goes above 60, everybody will shout, whoa! Tape. Add it. Specific. From this year, from January to December, this is what I expect. This is what we will do. And when it happens, this is what will happen. You see the way it is? It's not ambiguous. So, your goals must be specific. Have you ever seen some people when they will say, write down their goals? When you read the goals, you will say, okay, I don't understand. Have you ever seen those type of goals before? You say, which one is this one now? Okay? I don't understand this one that you have written. No. Because you are reading the goals, you are wondering, these goals appear to be eternity, something that is not specific. So first of all, your goals must be specific, okay? Specific goals are clear, they are well defined. In a professional setup like here, if you have a goal for your unit, it should be simple. What will be done? Who will do it? When will it be done? You see those three questions? Very specific. Meaning, Tope is in charge of releasing weekly objectives. Weekly objectives must be released Sunday night, latest 12 noon. You see that? Is it not clear? So meaning that if Pastor Callisto's release, head of QCCD releases the list of people that did not submit their weekly goals, I can just call Tope, why did you not submit? Do you understand that? Some of the things we do in our department, the reason why we never succeed in it is because it's ambiguous. Why are you doing this thing? Okay, you should know now. What does that mean? Should. Well, he said, no. Okay, you are in charge of this, and this. You should visit the rooms, this, and this. When you do this, you sign, okay? To show that this was done. Do you understand what I'm saying? So let's assume I come into this room and say, why is the AC not working? And then they'll say, oh, head of technical has not been here for almost 5 weeks now. And then he comes, he will say, no, this is my book. I was here. This is what we did. This is what we said. We've written to finance. They said they were going to give us. You see how smooth it is? Very specific. So in a professional setting, make sure your goals are specific. In a personal setting, in your house, the things that move you, please make sure they are specific, okay? I want to run a marathon. I want to lose 10 kilograms within so and so. Do you understand? I want to learn how to eat sushi, okay? I want to try, you know those things, you think of something. Oh, I've never been to a pepper soup joint before. So I remember one day my friend called me and said, Adiswa, have you ever been to a garden before? I said, no, I've never been there. And she said, in Abuja? I said, yes, in Abuja. She said, well, today I'm taking you to the trenches. So that's how she carried me. I drove myself. When I got there, I sat so uptight. She had a good laugh that day. And she said, Adiswa, nobody's going to snatch your bag. Can you relax? The DJ is playing music, dance. I told her, I said, Precious, I cannot dance here. I cannot dance here. Because everybody here is looking somehow. They are looking like a criminal. She said it's not a criminal. This is where people actually. So she said, can you now add it to your bucket list? You went to pepper soup joint. You went to a garden in Abuja. I said, I should know that, but I will never do it again. So your goals have to be specific, all right? Specific goals. Personally, one of the best ways is to picture yourself in the future having achieved that goal. Does the thought of it make you more excited? If it doesn't, it's not your goal. It's not your dream. Don't let anybody deceive you, okay? Whatever is your dream or your vision should excite you because it means it's transporting you to a much better place, okay? If it's not exciting you, then you have to evaluate, how did this dream come about? Is it because people were talking about it, I just decided I will follow suit? Does it make sense? So next, break it down. I want to own a refinery that can process 2 million barrels of oil. Then I begin to break it down. As I'm speaking to you now, I don't own a refiner. Maybe I don't even have land. So first of all, I will go and find out. What are the things I need to find out? Can somebody just guide me? Yes? Sorry. I want to own, by 20 what? This is 20 what? 23, right? By 2033, Adisa wants to own a refinery processing 2 million barrels of oil in a day. Yes? Or in a month, okay? So how do I break it down? And I don't have land though.
Okay, the first one is land location.
Land location. Thank you very much. So I will write that down. Next. What?
The size that will carry the company. The size of the land.
The size of the land. The size of the land, right? Okay.
Sightseeing.
You need to apply to the government. It's not, you need to apply.
I need to apply to the government to give me that kind of land, Abi. So you see, just in land alone, you see all the processes. First of all, I will get land. I would figure out, because for me to apply to the government, I must even know what the size of land is, right? Then I'll find out if I can site it. Is it not? Because you cannot just build a refinery in Gudu. It's not possible. So, next. You were saying something?
I said sightseeing.
Sightseeing, like I will go out and see what a refinery looks like, right? Okay.
Then the engineers, the machine.
Fina said something. The cost implication, right? Okay. Shulamite, human resource, the engineers and all the people involved, right? So that's my big dream. We're already breaking it down, is it not? That's how it is. So you break it down. You break it down. Now let's break down something more specific, okay? I am a mother that wants to spend more time with my child. That's my goal this year. I'm a mother and I want to spend more time with my child. Can somebody please break down that goal? How do I achieve it?
First of all, you plan yourself, plan your schedules. How are you going to, your work schedules and the time your free time should go to the children. You plan your schedules properly.
Okay. Now, do you know the challenge with that statement? Plan your schedule. My life is currently being planned. This is my plan, isn't it? So what's the first thing if I want to spend more time with my child? What would I do? Yes.
I think the first thing you need to do is to
Sit down.
write down. Okay, thank you. Write your routine for every day.
I should write down my routine.
Yes, you need to know your routine for every single day, how it goes, the slight differences here and there.
Okay.
From there, you'll be able to determine areas that you can tweak
To create more
to
time.
create more time.
Okay. Monica, please give me that microphone because
Yeah.
it's close to your mouth. You just be talking. Give me first. Let me give to somebody
Proximity matters.
first. Proximity. Thank you. Monica, because you are cheating.
The person's goal is to spend time with a child.
My goal.
Okay, my goal is to spend time with my child.
Yes.
I understand that my child is going to school, so I will have to put my schedule so that when the baby comes home, I should be at home. That way I will have time with my baby.
Okay. So, we're talking about plan. Okay. Yes.
Sorry, I need to understand something first. Planning to spend more time with my
Yes.
child. Is it as a working class?
As a working class mother, because if
Okay.
you're a full-time housewife, you won't have to
the
worry
time.
about that.
So
Yes.
as a working class woman, it depends on the kind of work you do too.
Absolutely.
If it's a job that is time demanding, maybe almost out of 24 hours, you do 18 hours. In that case, if it's a mother that is busy from morning till night, I can't see the mother spending time with the child, except she's on vacation.
Okay.
So for me, it has to be maybe when I'm on vacation that I can give that total attention to my child.
Okay. So spending more time with your child doesn't necessarily mean spending all day. It just means a little bit more. So I think the first thing we need to get to is how many more hours in a day? That's the first question. Let's assume I come home and by the time I get home, my baby is sleeping. And I need to leave. You're in Lagos. In Abuja, maybe that's not really the case. But like in Lagos, it's possible for you not to see your child for like a week. It's very possible. You wake up in the morning, by 5 you're out of the house. You're coming back by 9, the child is sleeping. So that happens Monday to Friday, and then you get to see the child maybe just Saturday and Sunday. So as a mother, maybe at first it wasn't a big deal, but maybe later I started getting feedback from the school that my child is acting up. My child is doing things that are not, they are not normal, things that I don't even know where the child is picking it from. So after doing my evaluation, I figured out that I think I need to spend more time with this child to understand what is happening. So it's a goal, is it not? Is it a bad goal? It's a good goal, right? And it's I have a job, right? Okay, so I need some help. Kufre, you have spoken before. You wait for somebody. Temi, you want to say something? The time, yes. The fraction of hours I want to give that child in a day should be defined. Okay.
If your job is not is such that you don't have time at all, you probably want to take time off without leave without pay to be with the kids. But if that's not possible or feasible, maybe you are the breadwinner or you are not the type that have support from any angle, then you probably want to ensure that even if it's 5 minutes you have with those kids, you utilize it. When you are bathing the child, just interact with the child. You are spending time, because children are they might not give you 30 minutes. In 5 minutes, they will tell you what they want to tell you. They can do that. When you are talking to them each day, you make it a routine. You are speaking to them, what happened in school today? You just be interacting with them as though they're your friends. They will tell you everything that happened, even before you ask, with time.
You're speaking like a mother that has a very fantastic relationship with her children. When you see children not talking, because a mother doesn't have time, if you like, stand with them for 1 hour, they will lie. They won't tell you anything. Have you not seen children before? So you're speaking from the perspective of my children. They'll tell me everything. Why? Because you spend time. So what happens is, I probably figure out that I may have to make a choice between my job and the child, right? So next step, family meeting. Me, dear husband, we discuss what's happening to this child, okay? So what kind of job will accommodate me spending time with my child, all right? Then I begin to put in application for those jobs, right? Then I go to the office and say, please, can I have my annual leave? You figure out a time frame and say, if I give myself within 3 months, I should be able to get another job, but at least with these 3 months at home, I'll be. So that's how to break goals down specifically. You break it down, you outline the steps you need to take for it to happen, okay? So you can say, what else now? You can choose to go to school and decide that I want to see the teacher, have a one-on-one conversation with the teacher. When did this child start acting up? When did you notice this character, okay? So all these things have to be written down in the plan, yes or no? So what the goal is, what that plan is actually doing for you, or what that goal setting, breaking it down, is doing for you, is making you realize that your job is asking you to choose between it and the child. It's possible prior to then you didn't know that. Prior to then, you were a fantastic mother that can provide mac and cheese, buy tickets to this and all that. But in planning your new goals, you just realize that this is asking me to pick between my child and this. So which would I pick? Do you understand that? So next will be to track your progress. How do you know that you're doing well? When you set goals, you break them down into measurable bits. This ensures you prioritize your time and focus your energy on what is important. And you should be able to track your progress against specific results. In this situation, let's say I take time off work. The next thing is, I can notice now that my child is more, he sees an adult, he's more respectful. Good afternoon, auntie. He's able to wash plates. He's able to do chores by himself. He's becoming more empathic. Do you understand? So I remember going to visit my friend, and she has 2 kids, 2 boys. Her first son, you know how women treat their first child. My Reuben, my this, my that. If you see her first son, he's so responsible. So responsible. At 9, he was already due to enter secondary school. He's that responsible. He can wash, clean, just see. There's nothing he can't do. His younger brother, that he's just 2 years older than, could not even lift his finger. If he eats, he will leave the plate on the table and walk away. And then the mother comes and she's screaming for her first son. Your brother has just finished eating. You can't even clean. What's wrong with you? She didn't even know what she was doing. And then one day, meanwhile, when she's talking about her first son, she will call him Prime Minister. She'll say, are you seeing my son? This is the future Prime Minister of England. I'll say, absolutely. He's trained for that position. She never talks about her second son. I've never heard her say, have you seen this one is going to be maybe never. They only call him baby. Come and give mommy a hug. He will give hug. Come on, baby, come and cuddle. Just 2 years younger. One day I told her, I said, you know what you're setting up for yourself? You're setting up a younger son who will always be a burden for his elder brother. I said, as simple as it is. And I gave her the analysis. I said, think back. When your senior son was this age, tell me what he could do. At least I was in this house. And she started listing all the things he could do. I said, what can he do? Nothing. He goes to school, he will forget his muffler, leave his flask. And he will enter the car and the mother will be telling, you went to pick up your brother, you couldn't even just ask him where his things were. Now you're asking, oh my goodness. And then the brother looks at him. So anytime the younger brother wants to do something, the senior one will come and say, I told you, let me do it. It's okay. When I told her, it was like the scales just fell off her eye. She said, I've never seen it in this light. I said, this is my observation, or you can. By the next time I go there, except it's not that my friend. It's alarm, 5:58, the way I saw her son jump up. Before, he would go to the bathroom and sit down there and wait till like 6:45, then wear his school uniform and come out. He will not bathe. Then the mother will start shouting on the brother. Did you not notice that he didn't have his bath? Now, you will hear shower, He will be singing inside the shower. The mother said that's what she told him. She wants evidence that he is bathing. So he will be singing inside the shower, singing, Jesus loves me. Yes, he's bathing. That day I came out, I said, Uncle, it's early in the morning. The mother said, this one, you go manage, Now evidence I define. Because this speaking, go school, you no go bath. I said, no problem. So she started to, zoom in on him. And I realized that by my next visit, one day, the Tesco, which is like a supermarket, it's like saying Grand Square came to deliver groceries to the house. It was time for his bed, so he was sleeping. And then the next thing was he came down. And he looked at his dad. His dad was carrying the things from outside into the house, the nylon. And he looked at his dad and said, Daddy, I can see you need help. Can I join you, please? And the father said, yes, you can. I was just listening to him. So he was helping his father carry everything inside. He helped it. So as his father would carry some, he would go and keep them. The one that his hand can reach, he would arrange it. When he finished, he now said, Daddy, good night, I'm off to bed. My friend came down and met me. She said, was that my son? I said, you two, you heard, ba? That's how to track your progress. That's how to track your progress. So you must see evidence. Her son became more responsible. All those, you cannot, timer like this, Set 5:58, you wake up, 6:15 downstairs, you see him, he'll be looking at the time, and the timer rings every 15 minutes, bam, you just see him rush down. Why? It's time for food. He's going to read in another 15 minutes, Auntie. I'll say, yes, that's okay. So I just have to eat. Do you mind? Could you please just move a little bit to the left? I'll say, yes, sir. So he walks like clockwork. But today she's very proud. Because I told her, I said, you see your first son, you can take him anywhere. But you see your second son, they will soon call you from school. But now, he's just as responsible as his brother. So that's progress. You track it. Next slide, please. There has to be a start time and an end time. In this case, my friend gave herself 6 months, actually, because she told me, she said, when next you come, you will see something. But at this one, in 6 months, it will not be this way. And in 6 months, I can tell you for a fact, her son was okay. Very okay, safe. Even more okay in my eye than his elder brother now. So everything you do must have a start time, it must have an end time, okay? So that's how you know. Don't just set goals and say whenever. That's not a goal. It means you're doing it at your free time, and it's not going to motivate you. Next slide, please. Goal setting, gold standard. We can't be talking about goals and not speak about SMART. Next slide. SMART means specific. We've been talking about that. So anytime you hear goals, anything you set for yourself, please always remember this. Please always remember this. And we're going to do a few exercises next. So goal setting standards, SMART, S for specific, M for measurable, A for attainable. Attainable means it should be something that can be done. Do you understand that? It's like saying that I tell myself I want to win the Olympic. I want to win an Olympic marathon in 1 year. That's not possible because I've not even finished running from my office to DMC gates. So it should be attainable, okay? Some people use the word realistic. It should be something you can do, okay? It should be attainable. Next, it should be relevant, meaning that it's supposed to add value to you and what you're doing. Do you understand that? It should add value. Why am I doing what I'm doing? It should be relevant. Is it relevant to your career? Is it relevant to your personal life? Is it relevant? We must answer that question. Next, it should be time-bound. There should be a target date for completion. If I do this, it should be between this time and this time. So, example 1, SMART goal for running a marathon. Can you please take the screen down? I'll just call it. So, good. No, not take it down. Just move it to the one before. We'll still use it, but... Hi. Maurice. You've misplaced it. Now. Oh, girl. Okay. Okay. So, can you move it to the slide before? I'll just call the SMART goal, correct? The SMART goal for running a marathon. We're going to take 7 examples, okay? And one of them comes with a prize. So everybody should please, this one we all have to participate. I don't know how we're going to share the prize, but we'll share it. So if I say I want to be able to run a marathon, okay, let's do it this way. If you pick the mic, you will say everything. What are the specifics? Measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound, okay? So let's use number 1 as example. So example 1. It says, SMART goal for running a marathon. Number 1, specific. I would like to start training every day to run a marathon. I'll start training every day. So that's specific, right? I want to train every day. 2, measurable. I will use my Apple Watch to track my training progress as my mileage increases. So, if I'm able to run an extra mile after every 3 weeks, my Apple Watch will tell me you're doing well, isn't it? So that's measurable. Attainable. I have to ask myself, how fit am I? Is this something I can do? This person has already run a half marathon. So it makes sense for him to run a full marathon in a year, isn't it? Next will be relevant. Why is this relevant? I value my health and wellness, and this goal will help me sustain that. Time-bound. This marathon is a year away. I need to be ready by then. Do you understand that? Is this clear? Or do we need to still look at the screen a little bit more because we're going now for example 2. And example 2 might just be different. So let's go to 2. Okay. SMART goal for writing a book. Take it down. SMART goal for writing a book. Who wants to attempt it? SMART goal for writing a book. Who wants to attempt it? Would you want to? Sylvia? You don't know if it's 5,000 you're playing with now.
I just want to try.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with trying.
Okay.
SMART goal to writing a book. Specific.
My inspiration. What is inspiring me to write it?
No. No.
Or the title of the book.
No. SMART goal to writing a book. Specific.
Okay, I think at first, specificity to know the kind of book I want to write.
Simple. Specific. I want to write this.
I want to write a book that helps, that talks about health.
What part of health is that's ambiguous?
Sorry, that talks about diet.
Correct.
All right.
I want to write a diet book. Specific, right?
Yeah.
Good. Measurable.
Okay. So I would, to measure that, I would be, oh God, man.
Measurable.
Okay.
Next.
Should I?
Yeah, continue.
Okay. To measure my goal, I would take some courses on diet regimen.
You're not ready to write a book yet. You're not ready.
Okay.
Specific. I want to write a book.
Yes.
Measurable.
Now, to measure it. Okay, to measure. I'm going to read like 3-4 more books so that I can get an in-depth knowledge on what I want to write on.
That's just still giving you inspiration for the book. The specific is I want to write a book. Does anybody have measurable? Measurable.
Write a chapter every month.
Correct. Write a chapter every month. Now, reading courses is still not writing the book. The specific is I am writing a diet book, okay? The measurable is I am writing a chapter every month, okay? Or more specific, I am writing 20 pages daily. Does that make sense? So that's achieving writing a book, is it not? Next will be attainable. Attainable. Emmanuel, you want to go ahead? Okay, you can continue. Let me just give the microphone to Emmanuel. We can have many attainable. Attainable.
Attainable, I've been able to participate in, write a journal.
Absolutely.
And that has to do with diet in time past. And relevancy, because I'm a health worker that's quite, that works with the health of women. So diet is quite relevant to my scope of study and to the environment where I work.
Time bound?
Time bound. I should be able to launch this book by 1st August 2023.
A round of applause for her. Can you see how to write a goal? What is the goal? I want to write a book. Is it not? Good. There's a difference between I'm dreaming of writing a book. When you say, I want to write a book, it means that I've done steps. I've used my SMART for order. This is the final step, which is the product. Is it not? So, I will write how many chapters in a day? Is this attainable? Oh, yes. I've been a resource person for journal reviews and all that, so I think I can do it. I've reviewed a couple of book chapters, so I can do it. Is it relevant? Absolutely. I'm a nurse. I understand the importance of diet, and this will further my career, okay? Because that's how it's relevant to you, all right? Then time bound, August 2023. You see how smooth it is. Let's go for example number 3. Goal for building a better relationship. Oh God, how did I know that? Goal for building a better relationship. Guys, just 10 more minutes and I'm done. Goal for building a better relationship. Can somebody just give us SMART goals for that? Okay, specific. I want to build a better relationship with my father. Measurable. I will set the alarm to remind me to call him twice a week. Is that fine? Twice a week, all right? Okay. Attainable. Well, if I set the alarm, it should. I currently speak to him maybe once in 2 weeks, but I can make it better. I can do twice a week. Relevant. Yes, building and sustaining relationship would give my father long life. Because if he hears from me more often, I'm sure his mental health would do better. Is it not? Good. Time bound. Now. So I'll set the reminder. Yes or no? So let's look at example 4. As goal example for work. Move up. Okay. This I would leave on so that everybody can see it. Specific. I want to start a side business selling flowers. Can you see that? Actually, I think this should be SMART goal for extra income. More like it, is it not? So I want to start a side business selling flowers, okay? Measurable. I will spend at least 2 hours a day planning and marketing my business on social media. All right? Let's assume that. Attainable. Well, I have ugu. I've been doing well selling ugu, green, scent leaf. It's in my garden. So now I will use my expertise to switch from vegetables to flowers. Relevant. I love growing flowers and sharing them with other people. So why not earn extra money from it? Time bound. I will start working on my marketing plans and growing my flowers to be ready for sale by July 1st. You see how smooth it is? So I just want us to take 2 minutes. Can you go to second to the last slide? Task 1. Task 1. This is our first task. I'm sure we've not done any task today, right? I want you to set a SMART goal for yourself in your department, or set a SMART goal for your department. Stores. Let me see. Goal, specific. Measurements. Oh, sorry, yeah. Measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So can we just do that briefly? We have just 3 minutes. I asked for 10. Remaining 6 minutes. So we can use 3 minutes to set a SMART goal for your department. Transport division, set a SMART goal. Just one thing. Assisted conception, set a SMART goal. HIM, set a SMART goal. Absolutely. What's your right? You're not writing. You're thinking. Okay, that's good. Thinking is good. SMART. Just put SMART. What's the goal? SMART. Confidential secretary, set a SMART goal. Vicky is already setting goal for theater unit. Oh yeah, quickly. A and E, take for example. We set a SMART goal for A and E. To pick up the phone, to respond to calls within 15 minutes. Is it not? How do you do that? Specific, measurable. Just think of a goal. Anything. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Assisted conception unit. To set a goal. To clean the embryology lab daily. How do we go about that? Something. Finance. To set a goal. Just pick a goal. Anything. BMO. Customer service. Shulamite is the first person to reach. She's always participating in this class too much. That's why we'll give her award. Specific goal, oh. Just be specific. No needle prick. You are needle prick. To set a goal, ensure all surrogates are seen by consultants. It's a goal. Are we almost done? It's a simple thing. Just our favor. If it's to share food, you can do it. Now you're dubbing a faith. You better stand up. Come and sit here. No dubbing. You did not even give us food. You are giving us drink and straw. In fact, I should have even concentrated on you in this retreat, so that you know that I'm here for you. Nick, are you done? Okay. I just need the first 3 people to finish. Oh. Just first 3. Oh, Monica, you're done? Okay. Nick. Specific goal. Okay.
You want to draw an internet cable to the PA to the ETA.
Correct. Goal. Yes. Specific. That's it.
Yeah.
Measurable.
We have the resources, the capacity to do that.
Measurable. Measurable. Okay, Monica, do you have a, please, who has the microphone? There's supposed to be microphones everywhere. Thank you. Please give up that. Monica, let's go. Specific. Your goal, then start.
My goal is to do surgeries at booked time.
Do surgeries at booked time. Good. Specific.
So that's the specific. We
Yes.
start surgeries at booked period.
Booked period, yes.
So measurable. We use surgical board to record time surgeries start so that we know when we've achieved that or we did not get it.
Perfect.
So achievable, yes. We can beckon on the experience we've had in the past when we've done knife on skin. So those things we'll put in place to achieve knife on skin.
Okay.
We'll do them.
Okay.
Then relevant, yes, it's going to be relevant as our patients will not be delayed again now.
Fantastic.
And the time bound, this will be achieved by September 2023.
A round of applause for her. You see, very specific. Eh?
The goal is specific is to achieve 96% recovery rate post of embryos. Measurable, we'll review monthly recovery rates of embryos that were taught as regards those that recovered. Then how is it attainable? We've so far achieved 94%, and we hope to follow strict cryopreservation criteria to achieve this. How relevant it is to us is going to improve our number of embryos yield and improve the success rate overall. The time bound, we hope to achieve this between now and August 2023.
Okay, Nick, we're back to you again. A round of applause for her. Do we have any other person? Customer service must try. Customer service must try. After customer service is head of IVF nursing. Nick, read what you have. It's okay. We'll correct it.
Okay. Giving PA to the ETA, internet cable.
Specific. Giving PA to EDA internet cable. Measurable.
Well, we use Cat6 cable to draw it.
Fantastic. You use what?
Cat6 cable.
Cat6.
Category
Cat6
6
cable. Is it not better than saying that we have wire? We have the things.
Category 6.
Cat6 cable to draw this line. Is it not? Next, attainable.
Yes, we can do it.
You can do it because? Have you done it in the past?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's something you've done before, so you can do it. Okay, next.
Relevant. It will help her to make her work easier.
It will make her work easier, okay? And make you more efficient. Remember that it's not just her, it's also you. Okay? Next.
The time frame is before 20th of May 2023.
Before 20th of May 2023. Fantastic. So, customer service. They must tell us. Reduce 15 time waiting. 15 minutes.
Yes.
Yes. That's your goal, eh?
No. Specific customer satisfaction.
Okay.
Measurable. 15 minutes waiting time.
Customer satisfaction is not specific because there are so many things that can make the customer satisfied. So what is your goal? Your goal is what? Reduce waiting time. That's the goal.
Okay. Reduce
Customer
waiting time.
satisfaction could mean the surgery is fine, lab is okay. Those things are not in your purview. So what's in your purview? Reduce waiting time. Correct.
Okay. Measurable, 15 minutes.
15 minutes, yes.
Okay. Then attainable. Booking system.
Booking system is also part of your measurables. Attainable means that, is it possible? Can you do it? Is it something that can be done?
Yes.
How do you know that? Have you done anything like that in the past? Oh yeah, give the phone to Shulamite.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Customer service. 15 minutes waiting time.
15 minutes waiting time. Still under measurable, get a book to make sure that all the patients coming to see the consultant are booked.
Okay.
Then attainable, will get a bell, then place in the consulting room.
Please give me one microphone for that place.
Make sure that we'll keep reminding the consultant that the patient consulting time.
That is under what?
Attainable.
Yes, that's
Make
correct.
sure that we'll get a bell, place it in every consulting room. Then at every 30 minutes, we remind
Somebody
the
from here
consultant.
should please. Next is from here. Yes.
At every 30 minutes, we remind the consultant that their
Okay.
consultation should not last more than 30 minutes. Then time frame, we'll say,
Relevance.
okay.
Is relevant to customer satisfaction.
Yes, it's relevant to customer satisfaction. Then time frame, time bond, 8 months.
8 months.
Yes.
Makes sense. Okay. Head of technical, please.
Yeah, my
Billing.
smart set goal is to be sure we have 24 hours power.
Correct.
But
Thank
to
you.
attain that, we need to service the generator every 2 hours with 25 liters of 7 gallons, the filters, and I'll make sure everything is ready.
Can you clap for him, please? You see how specific his
To make sure the
measurable
generator is
goals
working
are.
effectively.
Effectively, correct. Thank you very much. So you have done measurable, remaining attainable. Is it something you've done before?
Yes.
So it's possible.
Yes, it's possible.
Okay. How is it relevant to us?
It's relevant to us because if you don't service the generator, the DMC community will not have power.
There will be no light.
There will not light in any way.
So how long do you want to achieve this now? How long do you want this how long would this process take?
The process will not take more than 4 hours.
4 hours. So within
Yes.
4 hours, this should be in motion.
Yes.
And it will be permanent.
It will be permanent.
A round of applause for him, please. That's head of technical giving us a smart goal. Kufre, you have a question? Observation? Yes. Absolutely.
That will automatically switch when there's no lights to dim. Exactly what happened here. We were here. Power went off for some minutes. So instead of 24 hours, I would think he can say 98% of the time.
No.
Or 99%.
24 hours is okay. Now we're looking for 100%. We're working. It's attainable. See, what he's saying is attainable because whether we like it or not, in this hospital, we have light at least 96% of the time, isn't it? If we can achieve 96%, we can achieve 100. Because that's exactly what goals are for, to make us better, isn't it? Yeah, for automatic switch. Correct. So what he needs to do is, you see, when he was giving us his measurable goals, he was very specific. Service the generator, filter, this, that. So he just needs to add automatic switch to it, and we are done. Just one more, and then we move on to the final slide. Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, head nurse, you have to forgive me.
Smart goal for
billing.
Inpatients.
For inpatients, okay.
Yes.
Next.
Specific weekly update for patient on admission. Measurable, reading the case notes daily.
Weekly objective. Yes?
By reading the case note daily to gather information of service that are being rendered for the patient.
Which one is this one now?
Measurable.
Measurable, okay.
Then obtainable.
Attainable. Mm-hmm. NEPA's taking lights now, Kufri.
Because I've been in the system for long, so that it not leads to patient being delayed on discharge.
Attainable means that is this thing possible?
Yes.
Is it possible?
It's
Attainable
possible.
means can we
with
do
the help
it?
of EMR.
With the help of the EMR.
Yes,
Okay.
it's
Next.
possible. Due to
Relevance.
due to the delay, due to the complaint we had from patient in the previous times. So with these daily details, collecting of the daily information from the EMR, it will reduce, when we give a weekly update, it will reduce the delay.
Complaints from
Yes,
patients.
the complaints from the
Time
patient.
frame. How long do you want to achieve this?
By 1st of June 2023.
1st of June. Please, a round of applause for everyone. A round of applause for yourselves. Now, let's just go to the final thing the final issue that brought up this retreat, which is our weekly objectives. Okay? The reason why we had to talk about writing SMART goals is because most times when you hear about submit your weekly objectives and plan and goals, some of us feel very exhausted, isn't it? Because you're thinking, how am I going to, do you understand? First of all, a weekly objective does not necessarily have to be a long, it doesn't have to be 10 things. Does it make sense? It just has to be things that are new and can move the department forward. Do you understand? There are basic things that should occur every week. Let me put it that way. If I'm writing my weekly objectives, you would always see there, inseminations for patients, ongoing. Every weekly objective, I would have it. So there are 3 basic things. Like pediatrics will say, taking delivery of patients, of babies for so and so. It's permanent because they will take deliveries every week, all right? But then there also has to be new things every week. One of the reasons why it can seem, the weekly objective allows you to know if you're adding value to your unit. That's the truth. Because if you're not doing anything new, at least one new thing or 2 new things in a week, then it means that you are running on autopilot. And there's nothing new happening in your department. That can't work. That cannot work. Because what it means is we're just operating on status quo. Okay? Now, customer service has just outlined how they want to do 15 minutes wait time. Okay? If you want to put that in your weekly report, okay, then it's very simple. What is the goal? The goal is to reduce patient waiting time. Is it not? Good. The action. All these measurable actions you just described, you put them under the action column. Okay? Now, the time frame. Now, under the action column, let's put it this way. Shulamite, what are the things you said? Can you please give her a microphone? Take this one. Okay. Can you list the things you said? This is me using customer service as an example.
So we get a book to book the patient.
Good. So you put it there.
Then also send a appointment reminder to them.
Fantastic. So that's an action, right? So it's measurable, which is get a book for appointment, send a reminder to this, okay? What's the third one? Is there any other one? You said something about bail. That's okay.
Yes.
That's the reminder, right?
Yes, the reminder for the consultant.
A reminder for the consultant. So you put it there. So that's your action. Now, the time frame, you can put the okay, now because they already said this week, weekly objective, you can remove time frame because it's what happened during the week, right? Measurement. The measurement in this case means, did you do it? What's your progression report? So you see me say something like, I would say, purchase of ICSI machine. Okay? Action. Get a pro forma invoice from Spamed DK. All right? Discuss with finance on the possible sources of finance. Okay? Now, when you say measurement, I will go to where I wrote discussion. I'll write done. Discuss, or if it's discussion with finance, I'll say ongoing. Ongoing means that next week again, I have to repeat it and state that it was done. Or if it's still ongoing, it's ongoing. So typically, our weekly objectives should have just 3 columns. The goal, the action, and instead of measurement, can we call it status? Yes, let's change this measurement to status. Please. Status means ongoing, pending, not approved, done, not done. Okay? So when you write like that, so when you have that template, every week is neat. Do you understand that? So if I'm sending in my weekly objectives, I only send the goals. But when I'm sending my report, I send it in under these 3 columns. The goals I send for the week, I will put them under goals, right? Action. Everything that happened. Meeting with IVF nurses. Then I will put it there. Meeting was held with IVF nurses. The details of, it's not there I will write all the details, but if there are key things I think management should know, I can just list them, all right? Then under status, you put done. Or meeting moved to next week. Pending. You see it's very smooth. So it's not a lot of, because sometimes when we hear report, you think it's a lot of writing, you know, and some of us struggle with it. But if you just put it under 3 columns, the goal, the action, and the current status, that's all. So when you are sending it between Friday and Monday, you send only your goals. When you're sending the report, you send your goals, your action, and the status, along with the goals for the next week. Does that make sense? I couldn't get an example, but I was hoping we could do an exercise on it, but maybe we should. Sorry, just 4 minutes. So what's task number 2? Draw up a weekly objective plan. Everybody, can we just see that, please? First person to finish. Just write only 2 things, not more than 2. So you're supposed to submit to head QCCD. What's your weekly objective plan? So when you submit that, then give us a weekly report. Can we have that, please? Under these 3 headings, the goal, the action, and the status. If you finish, just raise your hand, and I'll just vet it. Goal. No? Okay, that's fine. Maurice, can I see your own? Head QCCD. It's a, oh, sorry. It's Maurice. Just draw it. Draw it as a table. Don't be scared. Just draw it as a table. Goals, action, status. Simple. Just draw it as a table. Goal, next column, action, next column, status. Simple. Are you confused? No, you waste more time. Well, trying to find out. So get somebody to draw this table. So this is goal, action, status. Then you say number 1, 2. Correct. You see how smooth? Kufri. Oga. Kuf. Perfect. Correct. This is it. Simple. Number 2. Just. Now, Sarah can already got it. Now, Monica is on it. Deputy Head of Embryology already does it. So there's no need. Goal, action, current status. Perfecto. Bonnie, you're not playing, no? See? Fantastic. Get materials to use from where? You must be specific. From where? You must be specific. Yeah. Perfecto. That's you see? That's correct. Oh yeah, number 2. We said 2 things. 2 things. Correct. Ongoing. Fantastic. Can we? You've not finished. I thought you would have finished. Auntie. My size. Now you are talking. CV. I should come and check it. You're going out, okay, marketing, going out and making use of the social media. Is it done or is ongoing? It's done? Okay, you've done the one for this week. Fine. Making sure. Yes, please. Don't worry about that. To ensure that the new nurses will be able to identify basic ECG reading, or to teach them. Now you see, instead of saying to teach them, just say organize a training. It makes you look busy. Organize a training on the use of basic ECG reading. You get me now? So that's the play on words that makes it look like a big deal. Ongoing or done. Fantastic. Fantastic. For the others. Perfect. Fantastic. Done. When you say faulty ACs, you state the room so that we know how many. So that's very specific, okay? Yes. Kufri, I'm coming, sorry. Oh, Bukata, I'm very interested in your weekly objective. Because the internet is not working. Edwina, I bring my own from home. It's not working. And you will now put IT support. That's the one that used to pay me. Is the IT support you wear at the back? IT support that does not support me. I'm coming for you. Okay. Correct. Perfect. Purchase of aluminum material. Voucher to finance. Ongoing. No, you submitted, but they've not responded. So you put, yes, you say voucher submitted, not approved yet. Fantastic. That's the status. Stop. You're always collecting money. All your things will be not approved. Correct. Yes. Wow. Purchased. Perfect. For the task. Ongoing. You get me now? So you see how smooth our weekly objectives are. So in that way, all of us were writing, we're using the same format, so there's no confusion. Do you understand? And it's very straightforward. So it won't be as cumbersome, and you won't feel so exhausted when you're just pick the new things you did today. Some things are steady. Every week, repeat them in and out, but always make sure you have 1 or 2 new things added to it, please. Bukata, read it out. Read.
I'll be I'll be drawing a camera cable at crate 2.
Okay.
That's the goal.
Okay.
And the action, we draw the cable at crate 2. Status done.
Done. Perfect. Okay, this brings me to the end. Oh, one more. Second one. Sugar mind, some people have not even said first. You are saying second. Okay, second one.
Follow up on appointments. Follow up on patient's appointments.
Okay.
Okay. Then the action. Send a reminder or call before 24 hours of the appointment.
Yes.
Ongoing.
Ongoing. Okay. Or you can say all patients on appointment this week were called. That's the status because you've already done the calling, right? So you say all patients on appointment this week were called. Obi, final one. This is our final.
Ensure recovery room 5 is repainted and the AC fixed.
Okay.
So action, send a memo to maintenance stroke technical department.
Yes.
Second is follow up on that, and status done.
Fantastic. Okay, let me just take one final one for maintenance.
Okay.
Read it. Read it. Or you didn't write?
I wrote. I was doing room makeover for VIPs and patients' rooms.
Okay. TIA, read it. It's right. No. What did we say about written goals? It must be written.
Yes.
Read it. If
Actions.
you wrote it, action.
Yes, undergoing a training for furniture making.
Okay.
And status. Voucher has been requested and is in the finance office for approval.
The voucher, is it for training or for what?
No, to get materials.
So you didn't indicate that. That's not very clear. So you can say, because you said action, undergoing training on furniture making.
Yeah.
But you didn't say purchase of materials for making the furniture. So this status does not correlate with this action.
Okay.
Do you understand that? So the status must correlate to the action that has been written. Okay? A round of applause for yourselves, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. AHOC has promised us that the next retreat will not be like this. And I promise, personally, I will oversee the refreshment for the next retreat. Personally, I will make sure this doesn't happen again. It is the goal for the next retreat that there will be food, there will be drinks, there will be coffee, and there will be tea. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Embryology.
I'm coming. I want to see Monica.
Embryology. Please, a round of applause for her again, please. A round of applause. I don't know about you, but this is a wonderful session with embryology. So any question for this? Do you have anybody that has question? Anybody? Question? Please. Can I have the other mic, please? Okay, hold on, please.
When we're sending the weekly objectives on Sunday or Monday, it doesn't need to be in the tabular form because you're sending only the goals. So just write your goals, okay? It's when you're sending reports for the next week. Like now, we've already sent our goals by latest Monday, right? So when we're sending our reports this weekend, we will now carry those goals and put in goals, then action and status. Then underneath it, you will now write the goals for the next week. Is it clear now? Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Hello.
My question is that, just like you rightly said, that if you're not doing any new thing in your department as your set goals, it won't keep continuing that way because it will be a reoccurrence of what is already on ground. But like some departments that normally you have your own personal goal that you're writing for your department. Mm-hmm. The QCCD also writes for you. Yes, that's
QCCD has goals. QCCD has goals for us.
Yes, they write weekly plans for us.
Okay.
So in such situations, you see that you are choked with a lot of works. the room now for you to improve on the new things is not there. You keep doing the normal things you're doing on weekly basis.
Should I tell
in
you?
that situation, yeah.
What do you do?
Yes.
Your next goal as head of department is 1, meeting with head QCCD. Do you understand that? That is a goal. Action. Discuss how I can marry my goals for my department with what you have given me, your assignment. Does that make sense? Because what you're saying now, you're only complaining. The QCCD has no formal report that they are choking you with their own goals. Does that make sense? So you've got to write it out. It should be part of it. Do you understand? Oh, meeting with Awesome Pharmacy to discuss why then Awesome will write there, meeting with ELD, why her people. Are you getting me now? When you are reading those kind of goals, you know that these two departments, there's a war. It's an unspoken, you get me now? So you're complaining about something, and it's affecting you. But the QCCD is just doing their job. So all you need to do is let them know that I need to meet with you because I need to discuss that. Then you come to a compromise. This one you gave me, I'm not sure I can do it. But this one I can do. This one I can do. If I add this one to my job, I will not be able to function. Okay? Status. Meeting with QCCD successful.
Are we clear now? Thank you. Any more questions? Question? Thank you so much, Emerald Sadesua. Who's the closing?
No, I think like in nursing department.
Yes.
We have our goals that it's not. I don't think it's possible for me to create, like in pediatrics. Let me use pediatrics for instance. I know that the main goal in pediatrics is infection controls, teaching, training, and consumable stuff and all that. How is it possible for me to always bring out a new idea? What I'm going to write should station around my department, right?
No, it's not. When you ask that question and say, how is it possible for me to bring a new idea? That's not correct.
No.
First of all, on that training alone, the only training in pediatrics cannot be infection control. Does that make sense?
Yes,
correct.
Yes.
So, if you meet with the nurses and say, not just immunization, it could be something.
Resuscitation.
There's a lot.
It will be exhausted one day.
For you to say it to be exhausted, it means reading is exhausted. You can't exhaust pediatrics. It's not possible.
Okay, so you can go back and like to continue.
Yes.
Like I can say, okay, to continue to retrain.
Let me give you an example. In assisted conception, you say cryopreservation. Okay? What is the goal? The goal is to have, just like what Tokwe read, you said we're already at 94%. Okay? If I'm to action it, and I've looked at it that, it doesn't look as if this week I'm going to have anything. That's why when you're thinking of your weekly objectives, they didn't ask you to submit it on Friday. They said submit it on Sunday so that you can sit down and actually think. So I'm looking at my weekly objectives and everything, the only thing there is what I submitted last week. It can be. Then I will put it there. Training of nurses on resuscitation, period. So that's a new thing. Is it not? Then during the week, I would send a memo out to the nurses that we're going to be having a training on resuscitation on Wednesday, something. You're the head of nursing. You can do whatever you want. You can train people. You can say once in 2 weeks, it's fine. But you can't say that if you're doing the same thing every day, even your job will be boring to you.
No, it's not everything. Like the ideas, you have so many things you're writing. Like if you have about 20 goals,
yes,
that you've been writing,
why will you have 20?
Be reoccurring.
No, you don't need 20 goals. You just need. That's the thing. You're not impressing anybody. You're sticking to what you do. Your goals are not to impress. Your goals are to stick to what you do for the week. But for every new thing you do, it shows that you are moving your department forward. Does that make sense? There are basic things you do every week. You take deliveries of babies, right?
Yes.
You do immunization. All those ones will be constant on every weekly objective. Does that make sense? But you cannot submit that every week. No.
Yes.
You cannot put it there. Training of nurses for resuscitation to be done on Wednesday, so, and so, or maybe Tuesday, is it not? Yeah. Then what's the status? Did you do it? Action, this. So next week, you put the constant again, and then add one or two things to it. Do you understand? Yeah. Which means you are moving your department
in fact,
forward.
which means that you are dreaming,
you
and
are
seeing visions.
You are seeing visions,
yeah.
and you are writing, you are undertaking.
That's just the bottom line. Thank you so very much. Can we give Sister Adeso a very big
Thank you.
Before I invite the principal admin officer to give the formal vote of thanks, I'd like to say this, please, all leaders. You submit, if you're here, you know you submit weekly reports and goals. Please, henceforth, copy the principal confidential secretary to the CMD. Her name is Chinoye. Oh, Chinenye, not Chinonye. This Nenye and Nonye. Okay. Chi Nenye, please copy her because it's very important for her to not just go through it, to I think print down the hard yes that she's compiling, and from her report only 4 departments have been copying her, so it's a challenge already. So please henceforth copy her so that she can collect. She's doing collection seriously right now. All right. Thank you so very much. Do we understand that? Yeah. On your way out now, just collect her DMC's email details. All right. So I invite our principal admin officer. Thank you so much, everyone of you, for your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your coming. On behalf of the HOD and Deputy HOD, I want to thank our resource person for this retreat and leadership retreat. I also thank the management for creating an enabling environment for everyone to learn. I also want to tap from what the chaplain said. Don't just be a hearer alone, but the doer. Go through it again. I think this will go a long way in the future. Thank you for coming, and God bless you all.